Well, this summer I went on my very first missions trip. It's almost embarrassing to admit I got to this age. Regardless of what that age is, you don't need to worry about it. And hadn't yet been on a missions trip. I literally tried multiple times to go on missions trips and it never worked out. But this time around, it was a mind-blowing and eye-opening experience. And I just want to share a couple quick things with you from that experience today. One major takeaway that I'm gonna cliche call the power of love. Hi, I'm Tammy Sevcov, and this is Worth Considering, where we take a look at society issues and Christian culture and how the two interact and consider a different side of the story. Today, I'm just going to share a little something personally with you about an experience that I had in Peru. And this year I was a part of a very large missions organization. Missions.me went down to Peru and was in every single province doing outreach throughout the entire nation during the same week all the way through. It was a pretty amazing coordination, and just from an event planning standpoint, it was mind-blowing. But to consider what was being done all throughout the nation, from medical clinics and clean water projects, as well as school assemblies and outreaches, there was just such an incredible outpouring of love going on. But I want to tell you the thing that kind of hit me the strongest, and I believe it could change and impact your view as well. One of the things we were told about as we were getting ready to go to Peru was the statistics on domestic violence there. That the percentage of domestic violence and the fact that it's not even reported most of the time because it's so accepted and normal is just alarming. So as we went, we were kind of aware that there's a lot of brokenness in the homes and a lot of reality to, we were already, especially, I know my team was in a very, underserved part of the city of Lima. We were in the capital city. And knowing and kind of being aware that there's just this gap. There's this, I guess, kind of a large bondage over the entire, nation, it seems. And obviously this is not something that just Peru deals with. This is something that's true throughout the world. But it was just really alarming when we saw some of the statistics. And in fact, I was told by one person there that there's a saying in Peru, and they kind of said it lightly, and they weren't even talking about this issue. They were actually talking about us teasing and joking and kind of, getting kind of like rough playing and stuff. And they said there's a saying in Peru that the more I love you, the more I hit you. And when I heard that, it just sort of hit me like, I feel like there's a darker meaning behind that than what it was portrayed as. And maybe some people see it as something light, but that there's something underneath there. There's a brokenness to the family unit, and that's something that we can't take lightly as Christians, and that's something that we can't take lightly. And as we're getting to show love, that's a huge thing. So we're going to these school assemblies, we're having these assemblies, and they're basically on, on the value of you can do anything, encouraging students, stuff that in North America we hear all the time, put your mind to it and you can do anything. We're just encouraging the students because it wasn't a gospel message in the main assembly. But then when we got to break down afterward and have conversation with the students, we were able to share our own testimony and stories and sometimes open up the door for the gospel message. And so we came in just encouraging them and loving on them and giving them hope. And as we're doing that afterward, as we began to talk with students afterward, it was shocking how many students were, just tears in their eyes and just getting a hug. Like getting a hug. I just can't even tell you how many times where I'm talking to some students, using a translator and said, can I give you a hug? And just immediately tears spring to their eyes, or when they would cling to you, that they would cling. And I was suddenly so aware of my own society around me here in America, that how many people are without love, who don't feel safe to feel just loved on, that there's an exchange. If I'm going to get love, it's because I'm going to give something. But really just love on people. And I know in North America we have all these rules about physical touch, and we did there too. We were very intentional that only women were hugging the girls and that kind of a thing. But how many people just need to feel a loving embrace and know that they're loved? And this moment of just realizing, like, I've been given Christ's love. I've been poured into God's love, and I have the ability to give that to people if I would be willing to. If I'm willing to go beyond my own self-consciousness and my own issues and my own, like, insecurities, and just love on people. Like, I feel like that opened more doors than anything else. When they were able to see, like, no, we genuinely care about you. We want you to have the best. We want you to know the goodness of God. And how many people in our workplaces and our schools would be impacted if they actually saw real, genuine love from us, not contingent love, not legalistic love, where if you do the right things, then I'm going to be kind to you, but just genuine love. I had somebody tell me recently, they're in their workplace, they were accused by another coworker of stealing something out of someone's locker. She got brought into the office right in front of everybody. And then as the directors, so she got called into the office in front of everybody and this guy accusing her. And in front of the directors say, hey, so-and-so accused you. This is what he's saying happened. And she's like all alarmed. And then they go on to say, but we have camera footage showing that he's the one who actually did that. And so we know that. And so you're not in any trouble. And she was startled. And then they said, well, would you like to say anything to him? And she just looked at him and said, I forgive you. And the bosses were like, wait, what? And she's like, I forgive you. I made mistakes in the past too, and I'm not going to hold it against you. Her bosses were blown away. Why? Because there was just like this genuineness of like, I'm not going to hold it against you. I'm going to show love. I'm going to show forgiveness. I'm going to be who Jesus called us to be. There's just, when that's the first reaction, instead of the like fifth or sixth, like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to show love. I don't know, maybe I'm just alone in this, but sometimes I don't realize what people need from me. Sometimes I'm probably just worried about what I need. And aren't there people who just a kindness, a smile, hand on the shoulder, hey, good to see you, looking in the eyes instead of over the shoulder while they're talking. How many people could we impact planting seeds for the gospel? Maybe not evangelize in the moment, but planting seeds for the gospel because of the love we show, and that they know that the Christians are the ones who show real love. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me for a few minutes today. I encourage you, if you like the video, like, subscribe here, and keep up with all the other great content I've got for you as we continue to grow and ponder and think on the good things of God and do our best to become more like Him. I'll see you next week.